For nearly 2,000 years, the Vatican has stood as the spiritual heart of humanity, a fortress of faith, ritual and divine mystery. But beneath the marble floors and golden domes of St. Peter's Basilica lies something far older than Christianity itself, a labyrinth of vaults, sealed archives, and forbidden chambers known only to a handful of men. The Vatican vaults. Few have ever seen what sleeps beneath those stone corridors. Even fewer have returned able to speak of it. According to whispers within the Archivum Secretum Apostolicum Vaticanum, the so-called secret archives, the vaults contain more than relics and manuscripts. They house evidence, texts that rewrite the origin of humanity, celestial artifacts retrieved by the early church, and the remains of something that Vatican insiders once called the Visitors. It began in 1947, the same year as the Roswell incident. Under orders from Pope Pius XII, a covert group of priests known as the Custodes Lucis, Keepers of the Light, were dispatched to retrieve a metallic object discovered in the Libyan desert. That object was sealed in a sarcophagus and buried deep beneath the Holy See, in a vault so secret its access code was handwritten on papyrus and burned minutes later. Every pope since has known of its existence. None have dared open it. But in early 2025, something changed. A low-frequency vibration, undetectable by human ears but recorded by seismic instruments across Rome, began to pulse directly beneath Vatican City. It came from beneath the archives, and when technicians tried to isolate the source, they discovered that the signal wasn't just sound, it was a voice. The Vatican issued no statement. The archives were sealed tighter than ever, but one anonymous letter delivered to a journalist at the Mystery Vault contained 5 Latin words, Adventum parati sumus. We are ready for the arrival. Something beneath Rome was awakening, and what it remembers may not be holy. Deep beneath the marble courtyards of Vatican City lies a hidden door carved with no handle, no lock, and no hinges. Only a silver sigil, a circle within a triangle, the mark of the Custodes Lucis. They are not mentioned in any official Vatican record, yet their presence haunts every major decision made by the Holy See. For the past 5 centuries, bound by oaths older than the papacy itself, these men live and die unseen, their identities erased the moment they enter service. They are the keepers of the light, guardians not of faith, but of containment. Rumor claims there are always 12 custodes, each representing a different epoch of human civilization. Their task is not to interpret scripture, but to protect humanity from truths that could unravel it. Among the few leaked fragments of their creed is a chilling verse: "We keep the silence of the sky beneath the altar, lest men remember what came before their gods." According to a 1963 classified memo from the Pontifical Academy of Sciences, the Custodes maintain a chamber known only as Camera 12, a vault accessible only once every 77 years. Inside it rests the artifact retrieved from the Libyan desert, a black metallic sphere the size of a human heart, constantly emitting a magnetic hum. The priests never touch it directly. When the hum grows louder, they kneel in unison and chant a single Latin phrase, Lucem time non tenebras, fear the light, not the darkness. Scholars who later translated this line speculated that the light may not refer to divine illumination, but to an energy source, something capable of bending space itself. In the 1980s, a secret inspection team led by a young theologian named Father Corrado Vitali defied direct orders and opened Camera 12 without authorization. His notes were recovered days later in the Tiber River, pages soaked in salt water, though Rome is miles from the sea. One sentence remained legible. It was not made by angels, it was left by witnesses. No trace of Father Vitali was ever found. Since that day, the Vatican reinforced the vault with electromagnetic shielding and closed it permanently. Yet, in 2025, as seismic sensors detected that same low vibration returning from beneath Rome, whispers began within the clergy. The artifact was waking up again, and the Custodes Lucis were vanishing one by one. By April, only 9 remained. Their final act before disappearing was to write a cryptic message on the chapel wall near the catacombs. The witnesses are coming back for what was theirs. Beneath the labyrinthine catacombs of the Vatican lies a corridor that was struck from every architectural plan after 1589. Its stones are older than Rome itself, black basalt that hums faintly when touched. At the end of this corridor stands a door of solid lead, engraved with an inscription so eroded it seems written by time itself, Non luceat in aeternum, let it never shine again. Behind that door lies Camera 12, the chamber sealed by the first Custodes Lucis and reopened only once in living memory. According to the recovered fragments of Father Corrado Vitali's journal, the chamber walls were lined with ancient mirrors polished to a liquid sheen. At the center stood the artifact, a black metallic sphere suspended a few inches above a stone altar. Its surface was alive, shifting with ripples of light that seemed to respond to human proximity. When Father Vitali approached it, the air temperature plummeted. His notes describe a sensation of time bending inward, like breathing backwards. He heard what he called a choir without lungs. Audio analysis of that recovered recording, long suppressed by the Vatican Observatory, revealed frequencies beyond human hearing, patterns consistent with digital encoding. The artifact was transmitting. And when Vitali touched it, the transmission changed. Seismic stations across Rome registered a single pulse, the same one recorded again in 2025, 77 years later. Inside the chamber, guards found symbols scorched into the stone, a double helix surrounded by 7 eyes. Within hours, camera 12 was sealed again. Every witness reassigned, every document buried under oath. But before his disappearance, Father Vitali managed to send one last message to his friend, a Jesuit historian named Matteo Landa. It contained only 3 words: they were human. Decades later, when Landa compared those symbols with ancient codices stored in the secret archives, he discovered they matched Etruscan carvings, predating Rome by millennia. Depictions of beings descending from the stars, bearing spheres of light they called seeds of memory. The Vatican had hidden one of those seeds beneath its own foundation, and in 2025, the seed had begun to hum again. Engineers reported that the surrounding soil emitted faint radiation consistent with quantum oscillation, as if space itself were vibrating. And every hour, the hum grew stronger. The Custodes Lucis tried once more to contain it, but this time, they were not the only ones listening. Satellite arrays across Europe captured an identical signal coming from deep space, echoing back toward Earth, a mirror frequency. Someone somewhere was answering. In the early hours of May 7, 2025, a Vatican astronomer monitoring residual magnetic data detected something impossible. The signal coming from camera 12 was no longer originating from beneath Rome, but rather from an unknown source deep in the cosmos. This revelation sent shockwaves through the scientific community, prompting urgent discussions and investigations. But from above it, reflected, amplified, and redirected through the ionosphere. Within minutes, observatories in Chile, Japan, and South Africa picked up the same pattern, a tri-layered resonance forming a perfect geometric harmony, shaped like a double helix of light spiraling across the sky. When plotted across celestial coordinates, the frequency traced a constellation no longer recognized by modern astronomy, yet identical to one described in ancient Hebrew texts as Ha-Urim Elohim, the lights of the gods. For the first time in recorded history, the Vatican Observatory requested collaboration from NASA's Deep Space Network. The combined data revealed something that silenced both sides of the call. The signal wasn't just bouncing between Earth and the stars, it was syncing with an object beyond the solar system. Every 33 seconds, a pulse of light returned, and encoded in the waveform, scientists deciphered a repeated phrase, 4 simple words in perfect Latin, nos recorda more lucem, we remember the light. When this discovery reached the Secretariat of State, all communications were locked under Vatican Protocol ad omnem silentium, absolute silence. Yet, inside the archives, panic erupted. The ancient prophecies of the Custodes Lucis spoke of a mirror in the firmament, a celestial intelligence that would awaken when humanity forgot its origin. They believed this event marked the return of the witnesses. As telescopes fixed their gaze toward the signal's source, they captured an image blurred by distance but clear in intent, a vast metallic structure drifting in interstellar space, reflecting light like a sea of mirrors. Its form matched the sphere found beneath the Vatican, scaled to astronomical size. Father Matteo Landa, now in hiding, published a coded entry on the dark web hours before disappearing. There are not 2 signals. There is one, and we are its echo. Across the world, auroras appeared over the Vatican itself. Pilgrims gathered in St. Peter's Square, chanting prayers as columns of light rose through the clouds. The bells rang without human touch, their tones harmonizing perfectly with the cosmic frequency. The sphere within camera 12 began to glow, its hum transforming into a voice. Linguists, physicists, and priests listened in stunned silence as a calm, ancient tone filled the chamber. The covenant is incomplete. Then the lights of Rome went out. Every satellite above Europe froze mid-transmission, and for 7 seconds the stars vanished from the night sky. When they returned, they were no longer in their original positions. The constellation of the Lights of the Gods now burned directly above the Vatican. When the sky shifted, time itself seemed to hesitate. Astronomers confirmed what the naked eye already feared. The stars had moved, not randomly, but into perfect symmetry around Earth. The heavens had formed a circle, identical to the sigil carved on the door of Camera 12. Inside the Vatican, seismic monitors exploded with readings. The ground beneath Rome pulsed like a heartbeat. Then, from the depths of the catacombs, the metallic sphere rose, unaided, floating toward the ceiling as though obeying gravity from another world. Witnesses described it expanding in mid-air, its surface unfolding like petals of dark light until it revealed a hollow interior. From within emerged beings of pure radiance, neither solid nor spectral, shapes resembling human silhouettes made of living gold. Their presence silenced every electronic device, every whisper, every thought. For the first time, even the Custodes Lucis bowed. The leader of the beings raised its hand, and every person in the chamber heard the same words directly in their mind. You buried memory in stone, we return it in light. Instantly, the walls of the Vatican vault projected scenes, visions not of the future but of the true past. The first civilizations receiving guidance from luminous visitors, teaching them language, art, mathematics, and faith. The creation myths of Egypt, Sumer, and Israel merged into one, all pointing to the same moment, the covenant of memory, a pact between humanity and those who seeded it. But something had gone wrong. Humanity had forgotten its part of the agreement. The witnesses had waited millennia for the signal, the hum beneath Rome, the seed of memory finally awakening. Now, they had returned to remind mankind who it was. The Pope himself, standing before the beings, fell to his knees. Tears streamed down his face as he whispered, "Are you angels?" The beings smiled, not with lips but with light. "We are what your faith became." Then the chamber trembled as the sphere's glow spread through the city, illuminating every church, every cross, every relic. For 7 minutes, the world experienced total silence. No war, no fear, no sound, only the hum of the earth in perfect resonance with the sky. When the light faded, the beings were gone. The sphere had vanished, but in its place, carved into the stone of Camera 12, a new inscription shimmered faintly. In lumen, omnia revelantur. In the light, all is revealed. The Vatican declared the event a miracle. Scientists called it an electromagnetic anomaly. But the faithful and those who saw the stars move knew the truth. Something ancient had come home. And humanity had been reminded that it was never alone.